Up next, let's check in on weather with Nebraska Extension's Eric Hunt. Eric, just a beautiful day out here at the Nebraska State Fair. As you take a look at the next 7 days, what are you seeing?
Well, thanks, Bryce. It's going to be a wetter holiday weekend for most of the state, certainly the eastern two-thirds of the state. Also, some much cooler temperatures coming back into play here for most of us this next week. Precipitation complements the short waves coming around the periphery of this western ridge. We'll have a couple different short waves moving into the state this weekend. The first one's likely to affect more of central Nebraska. The second one probably affecting more of eastern Nebraska. Certainly, though, central section of the state likely to pick up precipitation Saturday night into early Monday. Further east of state, probably more likely late Saturday, probably more likely Sunday into early Monday. But certainly, I think the entire eastern two-thirds state, somewhere between early Sunday and Monday afternoon, will have a pretty good chance of picking up precipitation. In terms of total precipitation, again, not much out here in the Panhandle, but certainly the eastern two-thirds of the state, a pretty good chance of picking up a half-inch or more of precipitation. Areas most likely pick up 1.5 to 2 inches, be up here across portions of north central, northeastern Nebraska. I do think pretty much anybody east of Grand Island is going to have a chance of picking up over an inch of precipitation from the system this weekend. Severe weather risk looks relatively low, but it's not going to be zero, and I do think there will be potential having some training of thunderstorms here across this portion of the state, so you may have to watch out for some flash flood warnings early this or during the holiday weekend. Getting into the work week, we have dominated by troughing here across the eastern portion of the country. Very strong ridge here across the western portion of the continent, so really not record, but certainly warm temperatures compared to average here across this portion of the continent. Here in our region, surface cold front will move through on Tuesday into early Wednesday. Probably another reinforcing shot of cool air coming in Thursday night into Friday. There'll be some chance of precipitation late Tuesday, probably again late Thursday. But for the most part, though, most of the state will likely remain relatively dry if these cold frontal passes. It'll be much more of a change in temperature than a big precipitation maker. In terms of temperature anomalies, again, it's going to be pretty cool across the entire north central and central section of the country. I do anticipate certainly the eastern section of the state maybe having a couple of days, the highs only in the 60s. Potential getting down to 30s across portions of northern Nebraska on Saturday morning. I don't think we're looking at a major risk of frost, but I can't necessarily say it's exactly zero for every place. So something to watch out for as we get later in the week. CPC shows continued cooler average temperatures favor through the entire period of September 4th to the 10th. I do think by the time we get into the week after next, you're probably looking at ridging returning here across this portion of the country. So our temperatures may flip back relatively quickly to above average, likely getting back to the 80s, potentially even the lower 90s across portions of western Nebraska by the time we get into the week after next. Precipitation, again, I think most of this next week will be relatively dry once we get past Monday. Precipitation chances do look like they pick back up again as we head towards September 8th and 9th. So Husker harvest days may be dealing with some moisture this year that maybe we haven't had to deal with as much in recent years. Recent precipitation, again, it's been pretty dry across most state here the last few weeks with a couple exceptions, southwestern Nebraska in particular, but certainly very dry across other portions of the Midwest here the last 2 weeks, 6 weeks in some cases. Soil moisture getting pretty short here across portions of south central Nebraska, elsewhere here in the Corn Belt. And we did see some expansion of the abnormal dryness here from holders over toward western Hamilton County on the drought monitor this week. And this is the temperature precipitation roundup for the week ending August 23rd, 2025. Back to you, Bryce.